Take a look at your brother. What's he doing? Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll say goodbye. Bye. We're out here on the land again. Now, this morning, we got a few things that need to be done. We're going to start by getting a few of these old, we've got a few very small stumps that are just starting to grow back. I've been putting a little fire on them to make sure they don't grow back. These guys are almost done clearing. We got a couple of trees left. That's it. They're going to chip everything up. We're going to set fire to the last stumps and move on. Now this is exactly what I'm talking about doing. Just very small bits of fire. We, right here, we had a little teeny stump that was starting to come back. Wasn't big. And give you an example, this is what we had last night. This was a stump that was coming back. Burn that one out, get rid of it. We're doing the exact same thing here. This one was smaller. But we want to get rid of these. We don't want them to come back. Let me show you. This right here is a little stump. The one that we've got burning here was basically that big. We want to get something on this one to make sure this one doesn't come back. Now understand one thing. We don't want big huge bonfires. All we want is enough fire to kill these little teeny stumps. These are very small stumps. Won't take much. Very small, very concentrated fires right on this spot. Here's a prime example of what we need to get rid of. This is a maca tree. This has nasty, nasty thorns. If you look, you see the thorn? And that's brutal, and this is very soft. Once these turn to wood, they're just brutal. They tear up tires. And this tree is just recovering. We're going to get a little fire on this, and we're going to get rid of this one. Now, some people might say, why don't we just come in here with a backhoe and dig all these out? This maca is a legume. Tons of nitrogen is in this section because of these root systems. We don't want to dig them out. We want to kill them so the roots die and decompose in the soil, leaving us all that nitrogen in the ground for all the plants we're planting to feed off of. So rather than digging them out, we're just putting little fires on them and killing them off so the root systems stay in the ground. Now we've got another stray goat kid. When they're caught on this side of the canal, they don't know how to get across, and the mothers just leave them. So we're going to have to move him over the other side. Now the advantage we have is these little stumps. Doesn't take much to kill them. We don't need to burn them for hours and hours, sometimes days, to get rid of them. All we need is a couple hours, maybe an hour of fire, a good concentrated fire, and it dies. This is the one that I showed you before, the maca with the thorns. And this fire doesn't need to get any bigger than this, and it will kill this stump. Remember that thing we burned this morning that had the little thorns on it that were kind of soft, and they weren't quite, they were all green, so they weren't very bad? This is what they become. That's got to be 1.5 inches. It'll puncture a tire. No problem. These puncture tires all the time. And they do all kinds of damage to skin. You don't want to know. And I'd like my kids to be able to play out here without fear. And this is one of the things I'm trying to eliminate. This nasty thing is so bad, I want to make sure we don't have any of it growing here so the kids can play back here without worry. Well, we're packed up. That time we did get a bunch of trees planted. I didn't get much video of it, but we did get some trees in the ground. I'll show you kind of where we are, and we'll give you guys a perspective of this. Right here we put in a cedar. This These cedars are kind of rough. They should have been planted a long time ago. But give you an idea, here's this cedar here. Down there by that watering can is a blue mahoe. So this is where we have them planted. You can see the fence line, and you can see where we've got these big huge stumps that have to be burned out, where we got these stumps burning. Take a look at this. I'm really loving this. We've got pile of wood chips, 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 wood chips, wood chips, wood chips, wood chips, wood chips. We have wood chips everywhere over here. These wood chips are going to be super useful. And once we have this whole place covered with moringa, remember, we're going to take a week, come through here and cut all the moringas down, chip them all, and create all new wood chips. Now I have a whole bunch of ebony at the house that has to be planted out here. And now that it's January, I'm going to call the forestry department, see if I can get some teak. I don't care if I can get 3 or 5. Any teak that I can get, we're going to get put in the ground here. We've got a lot of places to plant things like teak. Now I still have about 20 ebonies at the house, like I said. But we're going to need teak, and we're going to need some other things too to fill in these areas. One step at a time, right? We're headed out. We're going to pack up. I think most of them are already, yeah, they're basically packed up. Time to go home. Good night, everyone. God bless. And we will see you next time.